A bad boss is literally the top reason for employees to quit their jobs. A few years ago, I made a video on toxic boss signs, speaking from my personal experience when I was caught up at work dealing with an extremely toxic manager. When I needed help in understanding and in dealing with the situation, there were hardly any related videos on the subject. I did think I'd be helping others, sharing everything I learned from that awful experience, which I would never want anyone to repeat. It looks like my videos inspired many YouTubers to make similar content, and I'm pleased about it. It means a lot of you continue to seek answers. I'm Marat from EMMOTION, and in this video I'll be sharing all the key signs on how to recognize a toxic boss behavior, judging from my personal experience and from what I found out while coaching professionals and hearing their stories. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe below and enable the notification bell so you won't miss out my career and professional growth advice. Also, thumb up this video if these signs resonate with your situation. Toxic bosses are really the origin of a toxic work environment. Maybe you love your job, the company can be good, your benefits are incredible, but having a toxic boss is a huge problem. And not just for your career, but for your overall health and peace of mind. Here are the 7 signs to help you spot a toxic manager, which will never be a true leader. Sign number 1, they are always right. Are you working with a manager who knows it all? They think they have all the answers and they are always right, while you are always wrong. They will only promote those who keep on saying how great they are, and demote those who don't. In fact, anyone who doesn't agree with them immediately goes in their gas chamber. If they make a mistake, they won't ever acknowledge it. And they will easily throw others under the bus instead of fixing their own mistakes. The second sign is quite connected with the first one, when you are never good enough. A true leader inspires and motivates their team. A toxic boss installs negative emotions and makes the team doubt their abilities. No matter what you do, you are never good enough. They will always find faults in your work. They might even say that anyone could have done that better than you. Instead of feeling that you are growing, they make you feel like you are shrinking. This is a way for them to keep you feeling low, to maintain a certain control over your self-esteem. The next sign is when they micromanage you. They assign you a project but remain constantly involved in every single step. Toxic bosses insist on having a say on every aspect of your work. They have hard times letting go and trusting their team members to do their job. This constant suffocating micromanagement becomes extremely demoralizing. They micromanage you all the time. You might even receive emails or calls on your days off. Eventually, it gets in the way of you being able to do your job effectively. A micromanaging boss will damage your self-esteem in all sorts of ways. Working under this kind of manager will give you the impression that you are not skilled enough to do your work independently, or that you can't be trusted with an important mission, which is wrong. The fourth sign, they never give constructive feedback. You'll never get a recognition for your work, let alone helpful advice on how to improve. Any conversation about a promotion or your development within the company is immediately shut down. When was the last time that your boss actually acknowledged that you did something well? Even if you've reached your targets, they will still find something wrong with it. They will not allow any exposure within the company when you've actually done a great job, because they don't want others to know. Or even worse, they will try to take credit for your work. A manager has to be giving you constructive feedback on a regular basis. It's their job. No one can grow without constructive feedback. So when all the feedback you hear from your manager is negative, it means your boss is toxic as hell. The next sign is when they put you down in private or in public. It's demoralizing and humiliating to have your boss say something demeaning about you in front of your colleagues or direct reports. And since they are never interested in hearing other people's opinions, they will deliberately shut you down if you speak up. When they start undermining you in front of other people, this is how your toxic manager has an excuse to micromanage you even more. Aside from tarnishing your confidence, they also damage the confidence that other people might have in you. They actually undermine your self-esteem due to their own insecurities. It makes them feel powerful, especially if they see you eventually stopping to strive in whatever you do. No matter what the reason is, nobody deserves this kind of treatment. The next sign is quite connected, and it's when your boss goes even further. When your boss starts bullying you. Many times we don't even realize it. Our self-esteem is not at its best moment. We try our best to impress them. It never works. We start questioning our self-worth. Maybe we are not made for this job. Maybe our boss is right. But don't fool yourself. When all the feedback you get is negative, when they play mind games such as projecting an intimidating behavior, for example, threatening to fire you, this means your boss is a bully and an abuser. And it is their way to project power and control. Other ways of bullying include invading your space, giving intimidating looks, trying to isolate you socially at work, making offensive jokes at your expense. They will also tell you how easily you can be replaced, belittling you or your colleagues on a regular basis. Bullies might also gossip and even lie about you to damage your reputation. They will want you to fail because it is their way to make others believe that you deserve the unfair treatment you are receiving. In my opinion, nothing is more toxic than this. The sign number 7. They install a culture of fear. You can feel the negative vibe whenever a toxic boss enters the building. All the positive spirit is immediately sucked out of the department. Your every move is being watched as if you were in a prison. People start disappearing. Employees that get fired don't get any valid or real reasons for it. That's how the culture of fear is installed. That's why everyone stops saying what they really think. No one but the boss would speak during the meetings. People are afraid of being shut down and humiliated in public, or even worse, get fired if they speak up. Toxic bosses would be using fear as a means of control. They won't feel good without it. They don't have the self-confidence to see other people who work with them feel strong and capable. In a fear-based culture, the hardest thing to do is for you to stay human. If you show a minimum sign of empathy, compassion, or even sense of humor, this will immediately be taken as something unprofessional or worse. Do you recognize these signs? If these qualities are ringing a bell for you, then share your story with me below. Now, the bad news is that things don't usually improve. Staying in a toxic workplace or working for a toxic manager for a long time will only increase negative implications for your well-being. So while surviving and while searching for another role, try to focus on doing your job rather than on your boss. Remind yourself not to dwell on negativity. Your responsibility is to take it one day at a time and to keep moving forward. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please thumb it up and share it with whoever you think might find it beneficial. Don't forget to subscribe below, and see you in my next video on how to deal with a toxic boss coming up.